Muhammad Ali had been hit by the hardest men alive. Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier. Men who broke ribs with their jabs. Men who ended careers with single punches. But on January 15, 1967, something happened that Ali would spend the next 40 years trying to explain. His hand, the same hand that had dropped Cleveland Williams, was frozen in midair. Not from impact, not from pain, but from something his mind couldn't process fast enough to counter. 300 witnesses would later swear they saw it. According to some crew members, the producers considered cutting to a commercial. Network executives reportedly made calls the next morning, because what Bruce Lee had just done to the heavyweight champion of the world shouldn't have been possible. Not at 135 pounds, not without touching him, not on national television, where reputations lived and died in seconds.
Did you just...
Ali's voice cracked. The man who had a poem for every occasion had no words. What follows is based on footage that exists, testimonies from those in the studio, and accounts that have become legend in both boxing and martial arts circles. Some details have crystallized differently in different tellings, but everyone who was there agrees on one thing. Both men were risking everything that night: their credibility, their legacy, their carefully constructed public images. The Dick Cavett Show had pulled off the impossible, or the insane, depending on who you asked. Muhammad Ali was radioactive in 19. His refusal to fight in Vietnam had split America down the middle. Death threats arrived daily. Half the country wanted his head. Bruce Lee was Hollywood's best-kept secret, a man teaching private lessons to Steve McQueen and James Coburn, a fighter so fast that directors had to tell him to slow down because cameras couldn't catch his movements. When Cavett's producer suggested putting them together, witnesses later claimed the network executives went pale. What if Ali loses his temper? What if Lee actually tries to prove something? What if this turns into a disaster on live TV? According to later accounts, extra paperwork was required. Everyone understood the same thing. This wasn't just a celebrity interview. This was nitroglycerine meeting matches. Ali entered first. His presence filled the studio. At 25, he was already mythic, undefeated, unhittable. His body moved with the confidence of a man who'd never met his physical equal. Then came Bruce Lee. The contrast was striking. At 135 pounds in a tailored suit, he looked like a philosophy student on the wrong stage. The audience laughed nervously. That's the kung fu expert? Ali could sneeze him across the room. But some crew members later recalled noticing something else. The way Bruce walked, the way his eyes tracked the room, the way veteran stagehands seemed to give him extra space. Dick Cavett felt something. The air in the studio changed. He'd interviewed Malcolm X, Marlon Brando, and Norman Mailer, but this felt different. Two forces of nature pretending to be talk show guests. So Bruce, Cavett leaned forward. Muhammad here is the heavyweight champion of the world, and you claim that size doesn't matter in fighting? The question hung there, heavy. The audience shifted in their seats. This was why they'd come. Bruce's pause lasted 3 seconds. The studio was quiet. In martial arts, his voice was soft but carried clearly. We say the bamboo bends but doesn't break. The oak tree, strong as it is, can be uprooted by understanding its weakness. Ali's eyes narrowed. He'd been studying Bruce since he walked in, with the same focus he used to read opponents in the ring. With all due respect, Ali's voice had an edge. I've been hit by men twice your size and I'm still pretty. I've got 8 inches and 100 pounds on you. What makes you think your kung fu movie moves would work on someone like me? The audience laughed. Nervous energy filled the room. Bruce didn't move. His posture shifted slightly. A small adjustment. Would you like me to show you? The words landed hard. The studio went cold. Cavett's hand moved toward his desk. Some witnesses later claimed he was reaching for his cue cards. Others said he looked worried about his show's reputation. Ali's competitive nature flared visibly. You want to demonstrate? His words came slowly. On me. On live television. In the control booth, crew members later recalled the director grabbing his assistant's arm. Be ready for anything. Bruce's eyes held something that the cameras caught. Not arrogance, certainty. I won't hurt you, Bruce said, standing smoothly. But I can show you something that might change your perspective on what's possible. Ali stood too. The height difference was extreme. Both men had shifted their weight forward slightly. You won't hurt me. Ali smiled without warmth. Little man, I appreciate the confidence, but you're talking to someone who took Sonny Liston's best shot and asked for seconds. The audience held its breath. Everyone understood what was at stake. Reputations, legacies, public humiliation in front of millions. What happened next would be discussed for decades. Bruce positioned himself casually. To most, he was simply standing. But Angelo Dundee, reportedly watching from backstage, would later say, I knew right then Ali was in trouble. That kid wasn't standing. He was rooted. Put your hand on my chest, Bruce instructed. Ali looked at the audience. His showman instincts were fighting with something else. Is this some kind of magic trick? You got wires under that suit. Just put your hand on my chest. Push if you want. Ali placed his massive hand on Bruce's chest. The size difference was even more apparent. Ali had every advantage. Push hard, Bruce said quietly. Don't hold back because of the cameras. Ali pushed. Nothing happened. He pushed harder. Bruce didn't move. Now, Bruce said, try to keep your balance. Multiple cameras recorded what happened next. Though witnesses disagreed on exactly what they saw, Bruce's hip shifted slightly. His shoulder turned. His hand came up smoothly. He touched Ali's extended arm at 2 points. Light contact. Muhammad Ali, famous for his footwork, suddenly looked unsteady. His balance shifted. His feet moved to find stability. The audience made a collective sound. Surprise. Disbelief. As Ali fought for balance, Bruce's hand moved to within an inch of the champion's chest. It stopped there. This is the 1-inch punch, Bruce explained. Power generated from the ground up, released at a single point. Would you like to feel it? Ali could have laughed it off, made a joke, protected his image. Instead, he said, show me. The studio lights seemed brighter. Or perhaps that's how memory works around significant moments. According to some accounts, Cavett considered calling for a commercial. His hand hovered near the button. Bruce repositioned. Ali's stance changed from casual to serious. The loose posture was replaced by his fighting stance. Ready? Bruce asked. Ali nodded once. The time code showed 0.7 seconds. Witnesses swore it felt longer. Bruce's hand moved back 1 inch from Ali's chest, then forward. The impact was focused, not like a boxing glove spreading force. Concentrated energy. Ali moved backward, not stumbling, but sliding. His feet perfectly positioned couldn't stop the momentum. 6 feet. He traveled 6 feet before his hand found Cavett's desk. The audience reacted, not quite a gasp, something deeper. Ali's face showed something unexpected. Not pain, not anger. Recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, Cavett's voice was unsteady. I think we just witnessed something remarkable. Ali straightened his tie, a reflexive gesture while his mind processed what had happened. When he spoke, his voice was gone. This was Ali, the student. How? In Wing Chun we call it Fa Jin, explosive power, not about muscle, about connecting your whole body into one point, like a whip that starts at your feet. But I've been hit by boxers, Bruce said gently. Different kind of power, not wrong, just different. Someone shouted, do it again. Ali raised his hand. The audience quieted. Show them the water, he said. Bruce smiled, a genuine expression. You saw that backstage? I see everything that might matter. A glass of water was brought out. Full. Bruce held it steadily. Power is easy. Control is harder. He moved through a series of techniques. Sharp. Fast. The water stayed level. Now watch. He placed the glass on a table. Stepped back 3 feet. His hand moved too fast to track clearly. The punch stopped inches from the glass. The water jumped. Not splashed. Erupted upward. He hadn't touched it. Control, Bruce said. Power without control is just violence. Ali was moving now, circling, studying, reading distance with his body. Could you teach me that? Anyone can learn, but it takes time. I didn't ask how long, I asked if you could teach me. Something passed between them. Understanding, yes, but you'd have to empty your cup first. Meaning, start fresh, forget what you know, be willing to learn. Ali considered this seriously, and then you'd find you already know most of it. Different names, same principles. The dynamic had shifted. Confrontation had become exploration. Your footwork, Bruce said. Show them. Ali moved. The Ali shuffle. Smooth. Rhythmic. Bruce began moving too. Different style, same underlying principle. See, Bruce said, you create angles. You're not where they expect. Same idea, different expression. They moved together, not sparring, demonstrating. 2 interpretations of movement. Show them the coins, Ali said. Coins, Cavett asked. Just show them. Bruce borrowed a quarter, placed it in Ali's palm. Close your hand before I take it. Ali's hand speed was documented, the fastest heavyweight ever. His fingers closed. When he opened them, the quarter was gone, a penny in its place. When did you? Ali stared at the penny. You had what you expected, Bruce said. The audience reacted strongly. Ali's expression showed genuine surprise, and something else, respect. As the show neared its end, neither man seemed ready to stop. Water and dancing, Ali said. Same thing, same thing. Cavett asked what everyone wondered. Who would win in a real fight? Both men looked at him. Wrong question, Bruce said. Like asking if poetry beats music, Ali added. Different arts. During the commercial, witnesses caught fragments of conversation, breathing technique. Tomorrow morning, Chinatown. When they returned, both had removed their jackets. The formality was gone. One more demonstration, Ali announced. Bruce, show them the boards. 2 pine boards were brought out. Break the first one, Bruce said to Ali. Ali's punch shattered the board. Pieces flew. Power, Bruce noted. Now watch. He placed an egg on a stand behind the second board. His hand moved. The board split cleanly. 2 pieces. The egg remained still. Not destruction, Bruce explained. Precision. Ali examined the egg carefully. As the show ended, Ali did something that surprised those who knew him. A slight bow. Acknowledgement between equals. Bruce returned it. Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee, Cavett announced. Their handshake was caught by microphones. You're the real thing. Different path, same mountain. The audience stood, recognition of witnessing something significant. When the show aired, reactions were intense. Believers and skeptics argued. Fighters paid attention. According to some accounts, Joe Frazier called his trainer, "You see that? I saw. We should look into that." In Ali's next fight, observers noticed subtle changes. His movement had new elements. The transitions were different. Asked about it, Ali said simply, "I learned to be like water." Some witnesses later claimed Bruce and Ali met the next morning. A gym in Chinatown. No cameras. Trading knowledge for 2 hours. Years later, Ali was asked about that night. People want to know if it was real. Could Bruce really do those things? He chose his words carefully. Bruce Lee showed me there were rooms in the house of fighting I hadn't seen. He didn't make me doubt boxing. He made me see boxing was part of something larger. But in a real fight, wrong question. That's like asking if a scalpel beats a sledgehammer. Depends on what you're trying to do. We weren't opposite tools. We were different tools. That's what we recognized that night. According to those who were there, it was real. The demonstrations, the surprise, the moment when 2 masters met across cultures. The lesson was clear. Mastery has many forms. Strength isn't just physical. The greatest fighters don't always need to fight. Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali never fought each other. They did something more important. They taught each other. And in doing so, they taught everyone watching.